Right, let's move on now to a different story. We're moving back to India and we're in fact focusing on the story in Manipur. As you'll remember, from earlier in May, there were multiple incidents of violence that took place that resulted in the death of at least 70 people in the northeastern state. Now, tensions continue in the northeastern state. They continued over the weekend as the Chief Minister N Biren Singh has now appealed to people once again to maintain calm. The Chief Minister further added that over 40 armed cookies have been gunned down by the security forces in the state. Meanwhile, the Army and the Assam Rifles are deployed in sensitive areas and the internal services will remain shut till May 31st. Now, the Chief Minister stated that the fresh violence that took place is not between two communities, but between armed terrorists trying to create division in the state. We'll bring you more context on this statement, but first take a look at reactions that have come in.
No, just mass combing operations along with the helicopter surveillance has started, and we're trying to find out if the culprits, those militants who are attacking the civilians.
Our Honorable Home Minister, Mr. Amit Jhaji, is coming to Manipur for the 3 days. So we request and appeal to him to take the necessary steps and action as early as possible in his journey, because this is not a time to negotiate and this is not a time to talk about the peace, because if this action is not taken to the earliest, the Manipur will vanish.
All right, in just a second, we'll connect with a reporter on the ground to understand in more depth the most recent incidents that's taken place. My colleague Preeti is with us right now to bring us more context on this story. Preeti, thank you for joining us. Preeti, the situation in Manipur remains particularly serious. Before we go ahead, could you first tell us about the most recent incident that's played out?
Yes, about the recent incidents in the state of violence hit Manipur, you can see that a lot of fresh violence have erupted, and even quite a while ago we could see that some miscreants have now attacked a police station where they have tried to seize the police weapons. They have tried to get hold of the weapons of the security personnel. So yesterday also we could see that an MLA's home was attacked by an unruly mob. So this was the fourth attack on a politician in 1 week that has happened in the violence hit Manipur, and this is almost a month that this violence started, and now it is the internet ban has been extended to 31st of May as there are so many reports of fresh violence coming in from the state. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah is expected to be arriving in the state to talk with the stakeholders, but prior to his arrival you can see a lot of incidents of fresh violence between the communities, and also as stated yesterday by the Chief Minister of Manipur N Biren Singh, he stated that some militants are actually working, some armed militants are working to spread violence in the state, and in retaliation armed forces have also gunned down 33 armed militants. So we can see that a lot of outward force is also acting in this entire very sensitive state of Manipur, where such kind of fresh violence are being reported every day, almost every hour.
Okay. All right. Preeti, can you also bring us more context about the efforts that we've seen come in from the state? We hear again and again from state authorities about the number of deployment they have on the ground across the state of Manipur. Obviously, incidents like this are not ceasing anytime soon. Can you tell us more about what citizens from both communities, both the Kuki tribes that are involved, but also, of course, the Meitei community, both what they have to say?
See, first of all, there are two different versions coming from the both communities, because their causes to this violence are different. And regarding the efforts made by the Chief Minister and made by the government of Manipur, while one tribe, one community seems to be satisfied that he is speaking up about the militants, about the outward forces acting in this entire situation of violence in Manipur. However, the other community, where he particularly stated talking about the cookie militants. He used the term cookie militants yesterday, where the cookies have also showed some kind of dissatisfaction that why will he term cookie militants when it's while it can only be termed as militants. But yes, regarding the efforts, we have seen that enough security deployment has been made. However, there are certain instances of violence coming up again and again from the violence hit state. Yesterday, Biren Singh also urged the people to maintain peace, law and order again, and he stated that this is not between two communities, but it is because of the outward forces like the militants, armed militants, who are acting against the unarmed civilians, where the civilians are the worst sufferers.
Okay, Preeti, thank you for bringing us up to date with that situation. We'll continue to check in with you to understand the situation on the ground. Right now, it is time for a short break. This is, of course, the morning news show on CNN News 18. We'll see you in just a few minutes with more of the country's top stories.